even though some nations continue to operate diligently on their sixth-generation combatant initiatives, and numerous others are merely beginning to understand the complexity of fifth-generation airplanes, the United States has reaffirmed its supremacy in the armed forces. The U.S. is stepping into the aviation undiscovered region of the seventh-gen fighters. This is a bold move. Action that the entire world is watching, eagerly anticipating what lies ahead. We're aiming to remove the layers of concealment and examine this creation's details that has reinterpreted the limitations of air combat. We'll examine the technology, the capacities, and the consequences of the seventh-generation marvel. Come along as we reveal the truth. Regarding the testing of the USA's new 7, the fighter jet generation that astounded China and Russia, are pursuing constructing the fighter of the sixth generation. Developers came across an intriguing development. They learned that there are two different methods for using fighter planes in the future warfare. What made the discovery even more amazing was that it was neural network powered. Recommendation, but they soon came across a difficulty: the incorporation of features that are multidirectional into a single aircraft proved unfeasible. Consequently, the next-generation air supremacy or NGAD program grew to incorporate the development of a second project, a fighter from the 7T8 generation. It is noteworthy that the concept of generations of aircraft are relatively new. Lockheed Martin didn't utilize the fifth generation as a way to characterize its F-35. According to this categorization scheme, acquired momentum afterwards. Older aircraft were retroactively divided into the generations that most suited their traits. For the F-4, for instance, became a third generation aircraft, with the Eurofighter serving as classed as an aircraft of the fourth generation. Initially, it was a marketing ploy, but has now gained widespread acceptance, and the U.S. Air Force has additionally dissected the capacities of these generational second-generation aircraft designations, highlighted swept wings RANG radar, and third, infrared-guided missiles aircraft of a new generation beyond supersonic flight, with pulse radar fourth-generation visual range missiles added agility to the planes. Sensor fusion pulse radar signatures were reduced by Doppler radar, fly-by-wire, look-down, and descend quickly fifth-generation missiles, then added a covert advanced sensor fusion and super cruise functionalities as the sixth generation's evolution. Stealth aircraft maintains U.S. Air Force has already begun to focus on the future while attempting to find a seventh next-generation covert combat aircraft. The use of a forward-thinking strategy emphasizes the Pentagon's dedication to advancing the limits of aviation technology. Growth of every new generation of fighter aircraft are renowned for expanding upon the accomplishments of the earlier ones, pushing the bounds of what is conceivable in aerial combat, alongside the seventh stealth fighter of the generation. On the beyond which we can expect even more cutting-edge qualities and developments in aircraft technology. Nevertheless, anticipated that planes from the sixth and seventh generations will appear concurrently. So precisely what will the seventh generation combatants resemble, and how did the United States succeed in producing such noteworthy advancements in modern aircraft growth? Whereas China and Russia are battling engine development for, at this point, their fifth-generation fighters, the Great Japan-United States joint venture France, Germany, and Britain are currently working on the creation of sixth aircraft of the next generation, with the United States at the top of the group in terms of advancement. Under a veil of increased flight testing of the covert prototype for the promising fighter of the sixth generation has been carried out. However, serial production of the B-21 has not yet started. Currently under development is Raider. It's a project that draws on those motivation from the B-2's achievements. Spirit. These two airplanes have a unique design of flying wings, denoting a sensible development in the development of technology for stealth bombers. Likewise, as we investigate the fighter, most sixth-generation aircraft designs have adhered to a comparable pattern throughout. Capabilities might not be revealed for sometimes, though it still serves as a notable advancement in the field of technology for stealth bombers and demonstrates the dedication of the U.S. military to remaining on the cutting edge of aviation. In the meantime, innovation is the growth of the fighter of the seventh generation, is also the American NGAD, is already fully operational. program is presently in the phase of development. The next step, the IOC, or Initial Operational Capability phase, will start as soon as production component facilities are created, and an assembly facility is set up, assembling the most important and difficult phase that entails the creation of essential technologies for the modern combatant, previously been handled with success at this point. Incredible technological breakthrough has made possible the swift production of nearly 10 aircraft times quicker than the growth of the F-22 or F-35. This innovation is centered on the widespread application of artificial intelligence on board the aircraft, the process of creation, starting with conceptualization, and the mission statement for modeling. Astonishingly, real air battles are not generals in the military, but a neural artificial intelligence based on networks that has assumed the initiative to define the goals for this. It seems that Project AI has a more enhanced comprehension of the warfare of the times ahead and the necessary warfare qualities of fighter aircraft, that it possesses increased progress in the majority of difficult phases that historically took up 90% of the project's duration. Notably, AI can concurrently think about various aircraft concepts, work that is beyond human capability. Engineers, as well as designers, in addition to tactical and artificial intelligence for tactical tasks, is also skilled at replicating the engine and structure of the aircraft, subsequently forecasting the plane's performance in the sky. In addition to the neural network, by means of testing is made easier by reality modeling of these upcoming airplanes by pilots. Importantly, AI is more than just design. When an aircraft is considered separately, it takes into consideration the present condition of innovations in technology and the availability of novel alloys and materials. Human involvement in the NGADS program mostly consists of eating quickly varied input for the neural network. Prominent military figures are principally responsible for assessing the outcomes of this creative strategy in the concurrent production of combatants from Generation 6 and 7. A revolutionary breakthrough on its own. Future fighter jets will be equipped with the ability to transport a high-power laser. Currently, weapon developers are utilizing laser installations that are a little underpowered, which is why different kinds of missiles, such as right now, hypersonic ones, are the primary. However, the fighter needs to be armed, built to support laser weapons. For simple upgrades in the future, fighter cycles are also variable. Engine with specialized adaptability. Lockheed and Aerojet Rocket Technology Dyne were innovators in this field, constructing a combined cycle power source system that is truly amazing. System employs a turbocharged motor, when swifter than the Mach 3i, with smooth operation switches to a ramjet engine in order to hypersonic travel. Begins and produces thrust by consuming air at high speeds. This is where the true beauty lies. It makes use of the same intakes and nozzles for exhaust for both turbojet and ramjet modes, do away with the necessity for make any changes to the in-flight aircraft's first configuration, is yet another noteworthy aspect. Among contemporary fighter aircraft is the combining unmanned control systems. The lack of a pilot in the human cockpit offers a number of benefits. Permits the airplane to function in modes of hypersonic flight, increasing its maneuvering abilities considerably. A portion of these maneuvers expose the aircraft to astoundingly high G levels, forces much greater than those of the human body can tolerate. Not having a cockpit as well makes room for the implementation of efficient cooling systems, are essential for elements and units of experience elevated temperatures. When taking into these essential characteristics in the situation of a fighter from the 7th generation, a new viewpoint appears. The principal setting in which it would be used would be close to the space, enclosing the effect efficiency of even the most sophisticated air defense systems, like the ones in Russia. Powerful, this system works up to S-500, heights of roughly 124 meters above the range of sea level that a 7th fighter generation could possibly. In this instance, flight altitude and extreme velocity become more crucial than conventional qualities of stealth. One of the hallmarks of the hypersonic era, 7th generation, offers a distinctive design. It is possible that this airplane aesthetics could evoke, drawing inspiration from the famous Star Wars 65 X-Wing space fighters. But it's important to remember that the most new aircraft will be used for within the atmospheric parameters, with sporadic excursions into near space consequently. The aircraft structure needs to endure the mechanical and heat the complexity of these maneuvers. The aerodynamic, the seventh-generation fighter's designed with hypersonic flight in mind, utilizing elements such as heat-robust ceramics, steel alloys, titanium, and composes the airplane will have air intake volume and swept wings, with payload incorporation within the aerodynamic fuselage to reduce extra warmth during the hypersonic flight. This setting will allow the combatant of the seventh generation carry out lightning-fast attacks against top priorities that have the potential to cross the Atlantic seaboard, and the flight envelope will take about an hour. The fighter of the seventh generation includes supersonic, sonic, and hypersonic velocity, creating a bridge amid the storied SR-71 Blackbird, and the theoretical Lockheed Senior 72 transition is facilitated by a combined cycle power plant, at first created by Lockheed for the SR-72. Martin has dinner with Aerojet rocket. Conventional turbojet engines are insufficient in reaching supersonic velocity, and starting a single ramjet engine is necessary. Acceleration requiring a joint approach. The Skunk Works of Lockheed Martin Division has produced some fascinating information about the SR-72 initiative, which seeks to produce a deserving replacement for the legendary SR-71 Blackbird spy plane aircraft. The cutting-edge aircraft Lockheed Martin's development division has disclosed to Aviation Week that technologies for hypersonic flight, such as a uniting combined cycle propulsion system, a rocket coupled with a supersonic jet engines, have developed to the point where work on the SR-772 can start in earnest. This SR-72 is supposed to be a powerful reconnaissance and strike aircraft with a speed capability surpassing Mach 6. This process is not simply fascinating from a military perspective, it affects civilians as well. The United States Air Force's aviation granted a significant contract to a startup with a focus on fast to develop reusable hypersonic aircraft planes. If this project succeeds, if successful, it might possibly transform commercial aviation, providing passengers with travel times that are significantly faster in terms of military utility. The SR-72's capabilities are important from a strategic standpoint. At speeds greater than Mach 6, it might provide quick action and reconnaissance capacities that are unmatched by it, possesses the capacity to alter the dynamics of contemporary warfare, making quicker the mobilization of forces, and faster collecting intelligence in a time when for the SR-72, speed and agility are essential. Symbolizes a noteworthy leap technological advancements in aerospace. Additionally, the reality that hypersonic nowadays, people view technology as having to utilize programs that are appropriate for both military and civilian objectives, highlights its adaptability and possible effects, while the military applications are definitely impressive. The potential for civilian hypersonic flight traveling can be just as exciting as reframe our understanding of long-distance travels that diminish the size of the world, and easier to get than ever before, considering the brutal hypersonic speed flight with human piloting turns into unfeasible. Thus, this clever fighter will only be managed by one person, distantly, especially during hypersonic flying in an unmanned, autonomous mode. The characteristics of hypersonic flight restricts ground-based radio communication. Consequently, an autopilot and a combat control system on board will accept accountability for overseeing the aircraft and carrying out combat missions to enable coordinated tactical and operational actions. Levels. The Seventh Amendment's onboard system generation fighter will be included. A tactical data exchange via Link 16 network that links different participants in military operations such as spacecraft, battleships, and submarines, aircraft, artillery, and drones. This extensive network improves the combatant's situational awareness and coordination skills, guaranteeing its efficiency in the dynamic and interconnected modern warfare theater. Let's now explore the query of appropriate armaments for the seventh fighting generation. It's clear that conventional missiles and bombs, the American Air Force arsenal mainstays, are not designed for close space operations. Thus, the emphasis of developers need to turn their focus to energy. These cutting-edge weapons will recast the fighter role using the principal targets, such as hostile satellites and strategically important ground resources. A strong laser installed on this aircraft will have the ability to deactivate reactors and nuclear power plants. It turns into a powerful weapon in the arsenal. Furthermore, we cannot undervalue the utility of hypersonic missiles. In this particular situation, the fighter of the 7th generation may as the starting point for such missiles. Particularly, these rockets wouldn't need an engine booster, leading to a more condensed and economical solution. It's important to remember that the intricacy and refinement of the fighter of the 7th generation will unavoidably raise the price, probably surpassing that of its 6th generation, equivalent of a few $100 million in this domain. The United States is the only thing in the world that armed superpower possessing the financial influence to take on such endeavors. It's critical to remind detractors of large military budgets that don't every country stands with us. Allies to numerous nations, it's the America's powerful military qualities that act as a disincentive. This distinct stance against aggression maintained by the U.S. highlights the significance of keeping a strong defense, considering American history. States are unique in that they are the first country to generate a 5th fighter of the generation, represented by the iconic F-22 Raptor Lockheed Martin aircraft, which began serving as early as the U.S. aerospace industry in 2005 effectively created serial manufacturing of these cutting-edge aircraft. Even more amazing is the fact that the United States is the only nation operating 2 different kinds of the F-22 is a 5th generation fighter. The F-35 Lightning II and the Raptor latter is even more common and vast in scope at the moment. These 5th generation American fighters encounter no direct rivalry, while Russia boasts of the auspicious Su-57, continues to be an ongoing project with just 1 operational unit along with 2 additional testing. The main bottleneck preventing the production of serial goods is the absence of an appropriate. China's engine industry has also advanced development of a 5th generation fighter. For example, the Chengdu J-20 with roughly 15 units were constructed, and the Shenyang J-31 is being tested in flight. But Chinese and Russian developers struggle with issues pertaining to engines challenges. It's important to note that these restrictions are temporary. China and Russia will eventually conquer these challenges and become a member of the League of Nations with a strong 5th generation fighter capabilities, though they might need some time to get together. Utilizing the U.S. standard, the U.S. is even seeking to increase the SR-72's operational envelope as the space operations become more relevant. Fighter jets becoming more and more visible with the capacity to take risks, enter low Earth orbit, reveal a world of fresh assignment encompassing satellite upkeep and spatial situational consciousness. But this bold step into the universe has its own distinct set of difficulties, especially in relation to return to the atmosphere of Earth. Effectively utilizing this new frontier necessitates close attention to thermal safety precautions, guaranteeing the fighter's honesty and ability to survive jets during the flaming return trip to Earth is extremely important, signifying an additional technological frontier that needs to be overcome. Examining the potential synergy between enhanced drone capabilities and the investigation into space operations provides an exciting photo of a fighter jet changing to become diverse platforms that go beyond boundaries on Earth. They are about to become tools, not just of conflict, but also of discovery, safeguarding, and creativity. The future discoveries are expected to hold the pledge to use fighter aircraft capacities to previously unheard of heights. We are about to enter a time when flexibility and adaptability will turn into what defines characteristics of air superiority. Some people still fail to comprehend what needs to happen for an airplane to surpass, for an aircraft to fly through at Mach 5. The heavens at Mach 5 and higher requires an airframe to be built from sophisticated heat-resistant materials. Consider substances such as carbon nanotubes. ceramic matrix composite tubes or alloys of refractory metal that are all metic, designed to survive the intense burning high pressure and temperatures encountered while flying at hyperspeed within the atmosphere of Earth. In addition, these aircraft's contours would feature optimized, stealthy, and sleek designs for the aerodynamics of hypersonic travel, concurrently tackling infrared and radar signatures, in addition to the arrival of drones and hypersonic missiles aimed from these aircraft could fully change the dynamics of strategic targets of warfare are located thousands of miles distant, could be hit in less than an hour, presenting a fresh perspective on precision and agility in military operations. To become a space-capable fighter aircraft must undergo substantial redesign to meet the unique challenges of low Earth orbit. The airframe, for example, needs robust thermal protection to withstand the blistering heat generated during atmospheric re-entry at orbital velocities. Materials like neoy alloys and carbon-carbon composites emerge as key players in ensuring the aircraft safety during these demanding maneuvers. Now let's shift our focus from the depths of space to the cutting-edge world of directed energy weapons, or DEWs. Integrating high-power lasers and other DEWs into future fighters has the potential to revolutionize air combat. Recent advancements in solid-state laser technology have paved the way for viable DEWs for aircraft. Use powerful fiber or diode lasers compact enough to seamlessly integrate into seventh-generation jets, both in capacities measured in multiple kilowatts. These lasers may offer tactical capabilities that far surpass those of conventional missiles and guns. Those particularly lasers come with several distinct advantages over traditional ammunition. As electronic weapons, they eliminate the need for costly physical projectiles and reloading, thereby drastically reducing logistical burdens. Moreover, laser beams travel at the speed of light, providing faster engagement capabilities than conventional missiles. The versatility of these weapons shines through as they can serve both offensive and defensive purposes. They're capable of delivering precision strikes against incoming missiles, drones, or enemy aircraft, while simultaneously neutralizing surface-to-air missile sites and other ground targets that were once out of reach. This expanded operational radius significantly enhances the fighter's survivability, making it a formidable force in the evolving landscape of modern warfare. As the global landscape evolves, the United States maintains its edge in aerial warfare. The development and deployment of 6th and 7th generation fighters are paramount in preserving the military advantage that the U.S. holds, and its strategic foresight is essential to safeguarding national security interests in an ever-changing world. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click on the link appearing on your screen to check out another of our interesting videos. See you there.